Welcome back, friends. Today I want to talk about information overwhelm, about what exercises we're all supposed to be doing for optimizing our health and our bone health and our heart health, etc. And it starts with being overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed even as a trainer to keep up with everything the experts are saying that I should be doing for my optimal health for a woman over 50. And when I started on this menopause journey, which you all know from my other episodes, that I didn't even know I was in menopause. I started reading up on what I wanted to do, what I should be doing for all my symptoms, such as insomnia. And in that reading, I started also learning about exercises and workouts that were ideal for a woman's changing body because of her bone density is declining, her muscles declining. We're all losing muscles. We get older. It's this gloom and doom. And even in reading Dr. Stacy Sims' book, Level Up, where the focus is on the postmenopausal athlete, I was convinced by the research that she brought out about the importance of heavy strength training, which I've been doing for a long time. And there's, side note, nobody's denying the importance of strength training. And she emphasizes the importance of pushing our heart capacity, our body's capacity through HIIT, high intensity interval training, and SIT, sprint interval training type workouts, and how pushing your body to those levels, your it's like strength training, anything where you're challenging the body, the heart, that's what makes it stronger. But then I started to feel like I was getting conflicting messages. I've even messaged some of my colleagues like, wait, she's telling us to do this and not to do slow, steady state cardio. Yet the CDC and the World Health Organization have baseline guidelines for health, which asks us to do 150 minutes of moderate cardiovascular exercises. So like, wait, Dr. Stacey Sims says, don't do that for women over 50. We should focus on HIIT and SIT. Meanwhile, the World Health Organization is saying, not enough people, we're too sedentary. We need to do 150 minutes of steady state cardio. And if you've also follow fitness people online, you're probably getting very conflicting messages as well. Go fast, go slow, lift weights, do mobility. So what exactly are we supposed to do? And to underline what we're being told by academics and online experts, in order to optimize our body, our health over 45, we have to lift weights. We need to do plyometrics, and I'm guilty of telling you to do plyometrics too. We have to do HIIT and SIT. Don't do long steady state cardio. Do long steady state cardio. Do mobility. Now, it all boils down to, if we all did that, it would be a full-time job. And I'm telling you, as a trainer, where exercise is my job, I can't even fit all that in. I often wonder, like, I would love to add in Pilates, but I don't know when I would add it in. Also, if I add in Pilates, it'll get very expensive because Pilates is a little bit more expensive since they have smaller classes. So what's one to do? In navigating all this information and in working with in-person clients and even online clients, I am concluding this. Despite what everything is saying about do this, don't do that, I've come to the experienced conclusion that what we're supposed to be doing at age 53 is no different than what we should be doing at age 33 or 23 or 63. All those activities that move our body, whether you're doing plyometrics, you're doing weights, you're doing HIIT and SIT, you're doing steady state cardio, you're doing mobility, all of that is great for aging, for movement, for heart health, for bone health. All of it is helpful together. It's just that the age dictates the emphasis of reason. So strength training or plyometrics is extremely helpful for bone density, which is where we're compromised as we get older. But when you're younger, you're not as compromised, yet you still need that because you're building bone before you get to the stage where you're starting to lose bone. And so that's one. Everybody should be doing the same kind of things. The reasons why is all that changes when we get older. Next, I wanted to cite some statistics which are mind-blowing before I go into how I structure workouts for my private clients, my personal programming clients, etc. So these statistics come from the CDC. Let me start with the CDC's baseline health guidelines. Asks that, or not asks, highly suggests that there are 2 days of full body strength for every adult over 18 to 65 and 150 minutes of moderate cardio. So, and knowing that, those are their 2 baseline guidelines for adults. Only 46%, so half of Americans, don't do either. 50% of America is doing neither of those, not lifting weights, not doing any sort of 150 minutes worth of cardio. 24% meet the guidelines, so a quarter of Americans do meet the guidelines. 22% of Americans, so almost a quarter, only meet the cardio. So in knowing these facts, instead of us crawling through the grass, seeing all the blades and seeing all this information, we need to pop our head up to see the whole landscape. And this is why I do the following with clients. So if someone has never lifted any weights, I would have them starting at lifting weights, basic foundational things twice a week for about 15 to 30 minutes. That's it. I would actually demand nothing else from them, because for them, I want them to learn how and to build the habit of lifting weights. Strength training is the one thing that research has shown, regardless, is important for our muscle and bones, regardless of age. I want them to nail that habit down first. And once they're able to do that for at least 2 months, able to show up for themselves twice a week for 15 to 30 minutes, doing the foundations of strength training, then I actually would ask them, let's start looking at your step count, but not in terms of walks. Just like, I want to see how much you're moving on the days that on every day. So besides your 15 to 30 minutes of strength training, what are you doing every day? That's more important for your health than anything on the list of do plyo, do HIIT, blah, blah, blah. Are you moving every day? And for people who come into my small group training or for my private clients, so they might not be beginners. If they were beginners, all I do during the session is basic foundational strength. I don't throw any HIIT in. We're not doing any plyometrics. They're just doing the basics because that's the most important for them. So let's say they're not basics and they're coming into my small group training class or their private client. Most of my private clients have been with me for a while. This is what the structure of their workouts look like. We spend about 8 minutes of warming up. By warm up, I don't mean going on a treadmill. The warm up is really doing movements that is preparing their nervous system and their body for the exercises that they're going to be doing in their strength training. So it means doing certain kind of exercises that moves through their shoulder joints, opens up their hips, and also raises up their heart rate. So they're doing movements that are literally preparing them for the meat of the workout. After the warm-up, and this is for non-beginners, we do 5 to 10 minutes of power or agility exercises. Of course, you don't work in fitness, so you're like, well, what's a power exercise? These are examples of power exercise. Power means using your strength faster. Med ball slams, taking a medicine ball, slamming it down. It takes power to make it slam. I always tell them, I want to hear it. I want to hear that punching sound. Battle ropes, kettlebell swings or cleans. Those are examples of power. So you're using your strength and creating force. We either do that or we're doing some sort of footwork or agility exercise. Agility be stuff like little skater hops or foot fires, something that you imagine a kid's soccer team would do before they play the game. Those are agility exercises. Now, as I said, if someone is a beginner to exercise, they would not be doing that. We would warm up and they would just go straight into foundational strength exercises, and that would be their entire session. So for the non-beginners, like I was saying with my class, after the power and agility exercises, after that section, the students would go into their strength exercises. So they would go through little strength, say supersets, monster sets. So essentially they'd have 3 to 4 strength exercises that they would work through. Strength exercises include squats, rows, presses, and that would be the meat of their workout. And finally, for the non-beginners, so I would not give this to an absolute beginner to exercise. For the non-beginners, we would finish up the workout session with a 5 to 10 minutes of conditioning, something that might be considered a HIIT or a SIT, where they're really pushing their heart rate up. And we do this after the strength because I don't want them to lose their capacity for their strength. And this, what I just described, would be ideal for any age, 33 to 53. But the key factor for the format for good health is not like you must do this, you must do plyo, you must do it. It all depends on their exercise level. So if you never exercised before, there's no reason why you should be worrying about, let me add in the plyo, let me add in the HIIT, the SIT, blah, blah. All those things are add-ons, and it all depends on your exercise level. And let me just sum up again, with all the overwhelming, conflicting information out there. I like to just say, or sum it up, that doing a little bit of everything and not all of one thing is ideal for your body. Movement dominates everything. If you're moving, you will be aging well. If you've got any questions, you know to hit me up here or send me a message on my Instagram. And it would be so helpful if you could also leave me a review. It lets people find me and lets me continue to make this podcast and interview guests. Thanks again for listening, and let me know if there's anything else I can talk about. See you next week. I'm Coach Tina. For more information about how to work with me, head to ironstrongfitness.com and send me a message. I'll see you next time.